Chapter 5, Arithmetic Progressions. Let's first break these terms down, what arithmetic means here and what progressions means here. So arithmetic means numbers and arithmetic operations that we are using on these numbers, and we are concerned here with two arithmetic operations, addition and subtraction. So that's what arithmetic means here. And progressions, by progressions we mean, well, typically if you think about the word progress, then this means some kind of increment, or it means moving forward or something better. But here progression is a very neutral term. It doesn't always mean that numbers are always going to go up and up and up. It can also be that numbers, they may be in ascending order, they may be in descending order. So it's a neutral term here. It doesn't always mean numbers are going to increase, that each number is going to be higher than the previous one. And the idea of progression here means movement or change. Not movement, rather change is numbers. So when you have a lot of numbers, you want to find out how they are changing. So if you want to find out how numbers are changing, that means you want to find out the pattern that these numbers show, a pattern or trend. So that's what progression is about, finding out pattern within numbers. And we are concerned with addition and subtraction here, so we want to find out how these numbers change when you add or subtract numbers to these numbers. Or you will see what I mean by addition and subtraction when I show you an example. Now if it's a pattern, we want to find out what kind of pattern. So pattern of what type or what kind. Let's see first example. It's going to be 2, 3, 7, 11, 12, 13, 17, and so on. And the second example, 7, 13, 19, 25, 31, 37, and so on. 2, 4, 8, 16, 32, 64. Now in the first example, now we are talking about addition and subtraction here. So you get 3 by adding 1 to it. As I'm moving ahead, or I'm going along the series, 3, 7 and 1, I want to find out whether I'm getting the next number by adding or subtracting. So 3 plus 7 is, you get by adding 4, you get again by adding 4, you get by adding 1, get it by adding 1, and so on. So these numbers certainly, if you move along the series, they go up. Then each number is higher than the previous one, but I don't see a certain pattern here, or not a pattern here, not a certain pattern or pattern here. It's 1, 4, 4, 1, 1. Now there is no pattern. So this series of number series is certainly not a progression. What about the second one? 7 plus 6 is 13, 13 plus 6 is 19, 19 plus 6 is 25, 25 plus 6 is 31, 31 plus 6 is 37. So I get the next term by adding 6 to the previous one, and you can do it, and that's throughout the series. Or you can say the difference between two numbers is positive 6, and you can predict the next number. It is going to be 43, the next number 49, and so on. So definitely here's the pattern. So is it going to be arithmetic progression? maybe, because I'm getting each, there is a pattern, and you can obtain a term by adding 6 to it. The next term, you can obtain the next term or any term by adding 6 to the previous term. So there is a pattern to it. But let's see one more example just to make it clear what arithmetic progression means. 2 2 4, yes, I add 2 8. 4 to 8, I add 4 to it, I add 8 to it. 16 to it, I add 32 to it. Yes, I get the next number by adding the same number to it. For example, I get 4 by adding 2 to it, same number to it. I get 4 by adding 4 to 4. I get 16 by adding 8 to 8. I get 32 by adding 16 to 16. So definitely here's a pattern. But is it a arithmetic progression? I'm getting it by adding the number. Well, more accurately, this kind of series, you can also write it as first number. The second number is 2 times the previous number. The third number is 2 times the previous number, that is 2 times 4. And the next number is 2 times the previous one, that is 8, and so on. So this series is multiplication or division, and that's what we are not concerned with here. Certainly it's a kind of progression. The numbers show a trend or a pattern. You can predict the number, but this progression or this series is not what this series is. And here we are concerned with the series where we get numbers by adding a certain or the same number to a term, or where the numbers or where two numbers in a row in a series where two numbers in a row have the same difference. For example, here 6 6, when you take any two numbers, when you have a series or when you have numbers where if you take any two numbers in a row the difference is same, then that series or that number, this kind of progression, this kind of, when numbers follow this kind of pattern, then that series is called arithmetic progression. And that's what we are going to deal with here. A series where the difference between two consecutive or two terms in a row is always the same. That's what arithmetic progressions, that's what the pattern here. The difference between two terms in a row is always the same.